Only power nigga. Kill on follow you. I don't follow you.
Down a bullet, flying like a rocket. Bad man, we never rest.
But me nobody can believe me. Imagine that, imagine that.
Okay, so as soon as we were about to upload this video, here comes breaking news. The Lagos State National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives have revealed that the suspect arrested for injecting the late singer Mohbad is not a registered nurse. Recall that Mohbad's father, Joseph Aloba, had on one of his viral interviews stated that his son Mohbad died after receiving an injection from an auxiliary nurse on September 12th. The association made the revelation in a statement issued on its official Twitter or X on Saturday by the State Secretary, Toba Odumosu. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Lagos State Council, expresses its deepest condolences to the associates and the family of the late singer, known as Mohbad, during these difficult times, and they said that our thoughts and prayers are with them as we mourn his tragic passing. We fully support the ongoing investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death and urge the relevant authorities to leave no stones unturned in the pursuit of justice for him. However, we must stress the importance of professionalism in reporting and conducting this investigation. NANNM, an organization, is closely monitoring the situation with keen interest. Our preliminary investigations indicate that the individual reportedly taken into custody by the police for providing care to Mohbad is not a registered nurse. We emphasize the critical need to verify the qualifications and professional status of individuals before labeling them as healthcare professionals. His father already said that his son died shortly after he was given such injection by such individual, and such individual has now been taken into police custody. Now on to the rest of the video. There's a lot to take in here. Backstories of Mohbad being trailed and beat up and shows cancelled and running, living in fear. Well, he wasn't really living in fear, but he spoke of what was happening to him. Here's the rest of the video. I think this is one of the saddest stories that are out right now. Damn. Nigeria, what is going on? So, fans of the rising Nigerian music star are protesting after his untimely death. Young, talented, and gone too soon. But there's a lot of drama, mix-up, and crazy background story behind this right here. So we're going to get into the story of young Mohbad and what might have happened to him and what is taking place now. Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. NPR.org. Shout out. Lagos, Nigeria. Hundreds of fans have held protests and candlelight vigils in various Nigerian cities in the last few days in memory of Mohbad, a beloved 27-year-old Nigerian music star who died on September 12th of 2023. Now, when we get to the part of this story where I have to pronounce Mohbad's birthright given name, please bear with me. Now, get back into the story. The exact cause of his sudden death in a Lagos hospital is unknown, but the story gets very, very twisted and deep with accusations of corruption and possibly murder. So the exact cause of his death in a Lagos hospital is unknown and allegations of harassment he reported suffering from politically connected figures at his former music label have sparked outrage and an outpouring of emotional tributes. The hashtag Justice for Mohbad has been trending on X. Most of y'all know X is formerly what we used to call Twitter. And that's where I saw the video footage of thousands and thousands of Nigerians in the streets of Nigeria with their picket signs and their voices. They're protesting peacefully. They're not tearing up the place. I even saw comments where some people were saying, well, you know, African Americans could take a page out of this book from our Nigerian brothers and sisters. They showed up, and they showed up in the thousands. And there is no property being damaged. They're not tearing up their own neighborhoods. But anyways, let's stick to the story of Mohbad. This story gets very deep and very interesting. His death has also brought the treatment of musicians by powerful Nigerian labels into sharper focus, as well as the close connection between some in the music industry linked to the government. Wow. When I saw that part, I started looking at I won't call any names, but there are quite a few Nigerian artists right now that are making splash and waves in the international music market. And you have to think, did this person just get this big or off of their raw talent? Or is there an entity that is pushing them for a ulterior purpose and motive? And you know, I started thinking, wow, just wow. Read between the lines and leave your comments in the comment section. So, this is Mohbad. Lagos born. He was born in Lagos, Nigeria. Mohbad. His real name is Ilerio Illyrio Lua Aloba. That's his real name. Illyrio Lua Aloba. He was beloved. The people gravitated towards his style, his music, his voice, his street smarts, his aspirational and relatable lyrics. He was best known for hits like Peace. That's one of his famous songs. And the other one is called Feel Good, among others, of course. He was buried by his family. Now, this part gets spooky because he was buried by his family the day after he died. He died on a Monday, he was buried by his family by Tuesday. Or if he died on a Wednesday, he was buried by his family by Thursday. In 2023, in modern day time, where autopsies should be done and to figure out cause of death, given the circumstances of how he passed under suspicious circumstances, why would you want to bury him immediately after he passed? There's a rumor out there that his family was under threat to get rid of his body as soon as possible. And we will give you the right to give him a dignified burial in the way you choose. But if you go past this day, we will make sure that you don't even get that right, because we will destroy and damage. So his family had to hurry up and grieve and contain their losses and bury him as quickly as possible. So he was buried a day after he died. This started fueling widespread anger and suspicions about how exactly he died. Now, outrage across the country has been largely directed at Naira Marley. Watch this. Naira Marley is the boss of MOBAD'S former record label. Himself is one of Nigeria's biggest music stars. Not only is he one of Nigeria's biggest music stars, he also has a record label and the record label, he is the head, the boss of that record label, and he had signed Mohbad to his record label. He is an ambassador for the country's anti-drug agency and a vocal supporter of the governor of Lagos, for whom he campaigned in elections in February. So now we have politics mixing with drugs, the drug trade, mixing with music and entertainment and fame. Makes for a very interesting story. Now, after days of anger on social media from fans, radio hosts, and celebrities, police this week announced an investigation into any event that could lead up to the death of Mohbad. So we are launching an investigation, and anybody who has any information or knows something pertaining to how he might have passed or if anything was done to him, please come forward and say something. But this is a week after protests. This is a week after outrage, countrywide outrage, radio personalities, people in the streets, everybody calling for something to be done. And finally, it starts to hit international media. What in the hell is going on in Nigeria? Why are so many people out in the streets? Why are they protesting? What is this about? And of course, we found out that it has to do with the circumstances under which this young star lost his life. Now, on Thursday, police in Lagos said that the singer's body had been exhumed and would be taken for an autopsy. The Lagos state government said that the country's intelligence service has been enlisted to aid in the investigation. Here's the thing. Already, there are plenty Nigerians who are saying, listen, they're all connected. So it's not going to come to truth. The truth is not going to come out. However, look, he was buried within 24 hours of him passing away. And now they have exhumed his body, taken him back out of the ground, and now has his body in a facility where they are saying that the Lagos state government says that the country's intelligence service, which is the highest level, something like the FBI in the USA, that they have been enlisted to aid in the investigation. Now on Tuesday, Lagos governor urged anyone with information to come forward and promise protection for witnesses. Why would he have to promise protection for witnesses? Because there is so much alleged corruption from people in high places involved in this. Allegedly. So he is urging anyone who comes forward and says something will protect you. This is kind of like the situation in Jamaica where people might know something, but the corruption runs so deep. You have corrupted police officers who work alongside corrupted politicians, and then you have those businessmen and CEOs in high places, and it is just a web of corruption that if you go there trying to say, oh, I want good to be done, I am trying to clean up my country, you could be executed from any angle and they wouldn't know who did what, right? So these people are in fear. Even if they know what happened, they don't know who to trust to tell the truth to. Yes, you're promising me protection, but I don't believe you. You're probably just trying to get me to say what I know so you can get rid of me. Anyhow, he says that I have instructed all who may have played any role whatsoever in any event leading up to the death of Mohbad be made to face the law after a thorough investigation, he said. Mohbad left Marley's label, Marleyan Records, last year, and they were not on good terms. And in the aftermath, spoke of alleged harassment he suffered from Marley and his associates. He was outspoken about what he was going through. He didn't hide it. He felt in danger, although he was brave, but he was being stressed immensely. Now, last October, he posted a video on Twitter, now called X. He posted that video of blood oozing from a wound on his shoulder. He said, quote unquote, "Just because I want to change my manager, see what they did to me at Marlian House." Marlian House. He posted along with another video appearing to show several men attacking and beating him in a street at night, who he claimed is the later post were Marley and his associates, just because he wanted to disassociate from their label. Can you imagine an artist decides, I don't want to be signed to your label anymore because there's some things going on over here that does not sit right with my spirit. I don't want to be a part of whatever you have going on over here, and I'm not being treated fairly. And because the artist spoke up for their rights, the artist is assassinated. I want you to think about history and music and how many great artists were assassinated because of their image and the power of their music. But for Mohbad, the story gets even deeper. Now, Marley, of course, has strongly denied all these allegations. We keep on saying allegedly. He keeps on saying not at all. In several subsequent posts, songs, and interviews, Mohbad, whose nickname was Imole, meaning light in Yoruba, he spoke about trying to find peace in his life. He said he experienced a campaign of abuse after he left Marley's label. In an interview last month, he said his former label had put pressure on promoters to cancel his shows for which he was booked. So they were blackballing him. I don't like to use those words, but that's what it is. So he wouldn't be able to get any shows and perform anywhere. And then, of course, his revenues would dry up and he would go back to being a poor guy who just really talented but had no outlet and had no income. Marley also, Marley strongly denies ever harassing Mohbad. On Instagram this week, he said that he was shattered by the news of Mohbad's death and called for fans to help find information on his death. In recent days, some radio stations in the country have stopped playing Marley's songs in protest. More protests and more vigils are planned across the country. Now, why would radio stations stop playing Marley's songs? It is because Mohbad was not quiet about what was happening to him. In a sense, he sensed that he was going to die, and he was trying to expose without exposing. He was trying to leave clues to let everybody know that these are some powerful people, and they might kill me, but they are sabotaging me because I refuse to be a part of their organization. Now, allegedly, and I say allegedly, just so we are not held liable for this information, but this is what has been put out there and is circulating internationally now, that Naira Marley and his record label are connected to some powerful people in Nigeria and other places, and they are a part of a massive drug ring, and they make a lot of money through drugs, not really music. The music is a front, so they use the music to transport and carry the drugs. You know, people see you going on private jets and they see you traveling to different countries and they see you making moves and they think, oh, that's the famous musical star. And the famous musical star makes his money by doing big shows and selling records. But allegedly, the truth is that it is drugs money that is funded. And Mohbad found out that this is what was happening, and he was being used. He was being used to transport a lot of drugs. And he decided, I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to do my music and let my music speak for itself around the world. I don't want to be part of no corruption. I don't want to be a part of this label anymore. I won't expose your secrets, but just let me go from this label. Or let me go find my own way. And he left the label and he was trying to find his own way. And he was doing pretty well at finding his own way. But they started harassing him so much and sending people after him so much that he started falling into a depression. He started falling into a deep depression, as if he knew that his end was near, as if he knew that something was going to happen. And he started telling, giving people hints and ideas what might have been happening to him. It's a sad situation, man. His body has been exhumed, and they are looking into what the cause of his death is. We all know how that goes. We all know how that goes, because the cause of his death might not be revealed if the doctor or who does his autopsy is connected to the people who are responsible for his death. There's also information out there floating around that shortly before he died, he was walking down the road and a group of armed men in multiple vehicles pulled up to him with guns and everything. And they gave him a liquid to drink, and they forced him to drink the liquid at gunpoint. And he drank the liquid. It was said that the liquid would have things in it to make him hallucinate. So he would start to act like he was crazy and losing his mind. We don't know how true all that is, but it is tied to the time frame of which he passed away in the hospital. And of course, him being buried within 24 hours after he passed was even more suspicious. We wish peace, man, but we really wish for justice for him, for Mohbad. This is sad. This is sad, and it reeks. It reeks. He began to make his name in 2019 thanks to, his lewd and relatable lyrics. Fans loved his distinctive baritone voice, and he was best known for his hits single KPK, Koporke, and Ponmo, which featured musicians like Lil Kesh and Naira Marley. They said that he was with Marley and Records for about 2 years, helping it live up to its reputation of signing rebellious, non-conformist artists when his Lagos home was raided by anti-drug enforcement agents in February of 2022. He and other musicians were found in possession of the drug MDA and cannabis. MDA is like ecstasy and cannabis, but they were not charged. After falling out with Nigerian Records, he alleged that his tours were being deliberately sabotaged. Sometimes his shows were being cancelled at the last minute by organizers. You could imagine how frustrating that might have been. In June, he actually filed a petition with the police in Lagos, alleging that Samson Balogun, a music promoter known as Sam Larry, had led a group of armed men to interrupt one of his video shoots. Mohbad alleged that he had been assaulted and some of his equipments were even destroyed. Mr. Balogun denied the allegations, and the police says that Mohbad never followed through with the case after. Of course, because he was probably under threat. The music promoters have since reiterated that he was not involved and he doesn't know where all this is coming from, saying that me and him were on good terms. I don't know why he would file a report against me. Video of Mohbad's complaint about his relationship with Nigerian Records have resurfaced since his death, leading to the groundswell of sorrow and calls for his fans to know more about what actually happened to him in his passing. As well as holding marches across southern Nigeria, they have been donating to a fund that was set up by Mohbad's colleagues for his son. He is the father of a boy. His son name is Imole, which is Mohbad's name as well. Light in Yoruba. His fans on social media says similar demonstrations are being planned in Kenya's capital, in Nairobi, and in London in the UK. All they want is some justice. They really believe that Marley is behind this, and they want justice for Mohbad. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about all this information. Tell me if you know anything. And we'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace. Alright, my SouFLoTV audience. Anybody who knows me knows that I come from the rural parts of Jamaica where it's dark in those hills. And from I was a child until now, government still has not installed any street lights in some of the darkest corners of Jamaica. But guess what? It's 2023 and beyond. We're going into 2024 soon. We are doing it for ourselves. Just link up with Soninka Limited, because these solar powered street lights are powerful. They are commercial grade, remote controlled. They are waterproof. And did I mention that they are solar powered? So you don't have to wait on JPS. You don't have a bill to pay. These are powered by God's Son. Yes, and you stay on the ground and you remote control it to the brightness of your liking and all these things. Light up your lanes and streets and farms and corners and areas and be safe. All the information needed is on the screen, and Soninka deals with your installation and everything. Call them right now and get yourself out of the darkness and into the light, and tell them that SouFLoTV sent you. All right.